Today, I'm going to talk about my learnings from the book Mind to Matter, written by Dawson Church. So, in simple terms, mind to matter means turning thoughts into things. So, one of the concepts I learned from this book is how our brains shape the world. So, to talk more about this concept, how our brains shape the world, I will be explaining this with an example given by the author in the book. Once there was a woman called Josephine Baker, and she was the first woman to be graduated in public health. She pursued the medicine as a profession. She pursued to be a doctor because both of her brother and father died because of typhoid. And Josephine Baker was in 1908. Josephine Baker was appointed as New York City's head of new Bureau of Child Hygiene. So she has one thought, she has one desire, one and only one desire, and that desire is to eliminate human suffering. So she introduced so many new reforms so that people in New York City can have a better life, better lifestyle so that it can improve the health of people and for the welfare of the people. And some of these I will tell some of the reforms and some of the programs that she created. One of the program she started was Little Mothers League. In this league, she trained girls aged 12 and up in basic infant care. She found that there is a connection between poverty and illness, where there is in lower income families, more children were sick. So she trained these girls, and these girls used to take care of those children when both of the parents were working outside. They also educated the parents on how to take care of their children, how to maintain hygiene, and how to feed children with good nutritious food and all those things. And in daytime, when they are outside at a workplace, these trained girls used to take care of the infants and young children. This improved the health of infants drastically. This improved their health. Some other things she did was she standardized the dosage of silver nitrate. Silver nitrate is a substance that is given in newborns' eyes to prevent a bacterial infection called syphilis. So when for that she invented a syringe, measurable syringe, so that people can put right amount of drops in infants' eyes. Before that, people used to people used to put so much drops. They used to overdosage of silver nitrate, and in where in some cases the newborns lost their sight. They became blind. And one other thing is she established standards for the quality of milk. People pasteurized milk with water, and when they fed this milk to young children, they didn't get enough nutrition, and they didn't get immunity. So and also milk sellers used to add substances like chalk and flour to make the real look, to make the milk appear real. So that is some of the things she did, and in she also published an editorial in New York Times magazine. In this, she said that the death rate of children in New York City is higher than the death rate of soldiers at the war front. This caused a sensation, and people realized the importance of public health reforms. In 1908, one of the typhoid is one of the major killers, taking a lot of lives, including children. Typhoid killed like hundreds of people, thousands of people at that time. So she was very determined to control the spread of typhoid. So she had a plan. She got the map of the New York City, and with the help of a colleague, George, they both pointed the places in the city, the areas in the New York City that were getting affected with the typhoid outbreak. And they assigned one team for each location. And the task of this team is to identify the individuals who were getting affected with typhoid. In that, one of the individuals is Mary Meluna. She was an immigrant from Ireland. She was a cook and served various wealthy families. Both Baker and George found a pattern. What is it? What is that pattern? Is wherever Mary worked, the typhoid outbreak followed shortly. So when Mary was preparing food, she transmitted typhoid bacillus to those who ate it. So for this to get confirmed, Mary got tested and evaluated. They found enormous quantities of typhoid bacillus in her blood. But the surprising thing is, Mary herself didn't have the symptoms of typhoid and she didn't believe that she was sick. So Mary was released with one condition, that she shouldn't cook. But Mary went back to her old ways. She started cooking again. So, Baker tracked her down again and knocked at the front door of the house where Mary was working with the help of police. Mary peeped through the hole and she escaped from the back door. Baker, who was more determined than the men in blue, chased her and tracked her again. She traced Mary in one of the neighbors' shed. She was hiding in the corner of a shed, and Baker sat on her and yelled for help till the police arrived. That is how Baker caught her, and Mary was quarantined so that she will not spread the disease to others. And Mary's reforms were bitterly contested by medical industry. They didn't like Mary's reforms because people were getting healthy, people were getting better, and her campaign against typhoid was so successful. At one point, a group of pediatricians in New York City petitioned mayor that she should be removed from office. Why? Because they complain that there are very few children outside who are getting sick, and they don't have enough patients in their doctor offices. And and hearings were held in Congress to stop Josephine Baker, to stop her work. So, what else happened is she was discriminated as a woman, and critics declared that her efforts were making the medicine profession eliminated, because for future doctors and medical professionals it will not be rewarding when the society is healthy and the society is free of illness. In spite of all of these contradictions and denials, Baker stood on her feet. She was persistent, and she came back with more power than the opposing forces, and eventually she got her office back. By the time Baker retired, the infants in the New York cities, the death rate of infants in New York City is the lowest rate in the United States. Her reforms were spread to various places very soon, and her standards were adopted in 35 different states, and her standards in 1912 became the basis for the National Children's Bureau. So, what happened, and how did this happen? That is the power of mind change when it plays out a role in that large amount of people. That is the power of mind change as it plays out in big, large groups. And never think that a small group of committed and thoughtful citizens cannot change the world. That is how the world is changed. And so what I learned from this story is how did this all happen? How did this movement happen with only one person, one brain, one mind, one thought? What is the thought? What is elimination of human suffering? So when we change the thought, the it creates the it sends a signal in our through our neural pathways in our brain that signals alters the energy fields around us, and this energy field interacts with energy fields of others, and that is how we interact and we get connected with enlightened people, intellectual people, creative people. So now what world will you shape with your brain? You have this magnificent brain capable of creating wealth, happiness, and health. We are already turning thoughts into things, but we are doing it unconsciously. Now it is time to use your consciousness deliberately, building matter through intentions flowing from inside. We have to build things with the intentions, with the consciousness that is inside, and we will stop doing things by accident based on what is coming at you from outside. This book is about how to harness your superpower consciously to make a wonderful life for yourself and those around you. This book is about how to train our brains to live consciously to make a wonderful life for yourself and those around you. So, in this book, at the end of each chapter, the author Dawson Church gives tips and practices to to use our brain in a conscious, to its highest potential. How can we use our brain? How can we build consciousness not only in meditation, but each day and every day? Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And my deepest gratitude to Meditation Magic for giving me this opportunity. And my heartfelt thank you to my friend Runalini, who encouraged me to share the learnings of the book with all of you. Thank you so much for joining me.